Hey guys, today on People Now, a new baby boy for Carrie Underwood. We'll tell you everything we've learned.
Chris Brown speaks out for the first time following rape allegations.
New details about Prince Philip's car accident and casting news for The Crown. It's all in today's Royal Record.
Plus,
there's many different ways in which we're all complicit.
Jada Pinkett Smith holds nothing back about the R. Kelly allegations.
Jordan Fischer is here getting us all pumped for Rent live on Fox.
And host of HGTV's Windy City, Alison Victoria, is here telling us how she is fixing up Chicago.
Live today on People Now. Hey guys, here we go. Happy Thursday. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. Yeah, feels good, right?
I'm excited about the day.
Yeah, it's been a little while now since we celebrated a national food holiday. Today we dug one up. We've got one that's causing a
I love this because this is one of my favorite foods. So it is National Peanut Butter Day. When it comes to the nutty spread, the obvious question is creamy or crunchy. So we want to know what you guys think. Jeremy, what's yours?
Obviously creamy.
Mine's crunchy, so I want to see who wins. So vote for how you prefer your peanut butter in our People poll, or just tweet us your answer with the hashtag #PeopleNow.
I've always called it smooth. Why?
I don't know. Well, it is smooth.
I know, but I've never.
Everyone says creamy or crunchy, not.
We're going to check in on those results of that very important question. That's a little later. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Starting on a more serious note here, Jayme Closs will be getting some of the reward money set aside for her case. Closs is the kidnapped teen who escaped from her captor. She'll receive the $25,000 prize money pledged by Hormel Foods and turkey products company Genie O. Now, Jayme's parents, who were killed during her kidnapping, worked at Genie O, and the company's president hopes a trust fund can be set up for the teen. The FBI also offered $25,000 in reward money, but it's not clear what will happen to that reward. Now, the couple that alerted authorities about Closs's escape insists that the 13-year-old should receive all the money because, according to them, she got herself out. Authorities announced earlier this month that Closs had been found on January 10th after being missing for 88 days. A dog walker had stumbled across Closs after she managed to escape the cabin where she had been held. Authorities also confirmed that a suspect had been arrested shortly afterwards. Jake Patterson is now in jail on a $5 million bail, charged with murder, kidnapping, and armed burglary. He's not yet entered a plea, and Patterson is due back in court on February 6th. A new photo of Chris Brown has surfaced that was taken on Wednesday, one day after the singer was released from police custody in Paris. Brown was detained by Paris police on Monday for potential rape and drug infractions, but was later released without charge. People has confirmed that Paris police are continuing to investigate that alleged incident. On Thursday, Brown was all smiles in a group photo posted to Instagram, posing with what appears to be the crew of a new music video. Earlier in the week, Brown posted an image of a t-shirt from his clothing company, Black Pyramid, which said, "This be lion." The caption of that post read, "I want to make it perfectly clear, this is false. For my daughter and my family, this is so disrespectful and against my character and morals." That was his quote in that post. That Instagram post has since been deleted, though. Brown has had a long history of legal issues, including physical assault charges from an incident while dating Rihanna back in 2009. We remember that well. He was also arrested on a felony battery charge in July of last year, stemming from an incident in April 2017, where he was accused of punching a photographer in West Palm Beach, Florida. We'll keep you posted on all that on People.com. Some important recall news now. General Mills has announced a voluntary recall of its 5-pound bags of gold medal unbleached flour with a best if used by date of April 20th, 2020. You got that? All right, so this is over fears of salmonella contamination. The bacteria was discovered during a sampling of the bags, and its potential presence led the company to issue a recall out of, quote, an abundance of care. The FDA says that salmonella is killed through baking, frying, sautéing, or boiling products. However, consuming raw products made with flour can lead to salmonella. I didn't know any of this. It can cause nausea, vomiting, fever, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Now you know. It can also lead, guys, to more serious infections in the bloodstream. It can be a very serious thing. General Mills confirms that they have not received any reports of confirmed illnesses related to this product, but they still encourage consumers to dispose of the product and contact them for more information. So beware.
Gosh,
the recall is out there.
Checked.
I'm now thinking of go look at the bag. I don't know. All right, you've got more for us in Star Treks.
Yes, we are kicking off Star Treks with a big cause for celebration and a little bundle of joy. It's a boy. Carrie Underwood and her husband, former NHL player Mike Fischer, welcomed their second child on Monday, a son named Jacob Brian Fischer. Jacob joins 3.5-year-old big brother Isaiah. So cute. Carrie revealed the happy news on Instagram on Wednesday with some sweet photos taken at the hospital, writing in part, "Our hearts are full, our eyes are tired, and our lives are changed forever." Now, this comes 4 months after Carrie revealed she suffered 3 miscarriages from 2017 to 2018, so she's been through a lot. Now, back in September, Underwood told CBS Sunday Morning that while pregnant with Jacob, she thought she might be having her 4th miscarriage. So she turned to prayer, asking God, "Why on earth do I keep getting pregnant if I can't have a kid?" She continued, "For the first time, I feel like I actually told God how I felt." She said that God heard her prayers, and when she went to the doctor, she was told everything was great with her pregnancy. Meanwhile, Fischer also posted the news on his Instagram, writing in part, "The last few years has had its challenges, and it makes this moment even more sweet. We didn't know if Izzy would ever have another sibling, but we learned through it all that God is in control and his timing is perfect." A source tells People they are just beyond overjoyed with their healthy baby, adding, "It's been a rough few years. They're feeling truly blessed." Well, our congrats to Carrie, Mike, and the whole gang. Very adorable. Well, the score of this tennis match was love all for Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. See what I did there?
Yep.
I know sports. The couple packed on the PDA at the Australian Open on Thursday as they hung out in the stands at the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. Now, the couple was there to watch the women's semi-final match, watching Naomi Osaka and Karolina Pliskova battle it out for the victory. So Nicole looked stylish as ever in a white lace sundress. Kind of hard to remember it's warm in Australia right now. It's not fair. Keith rocked his signature country look, a navy blue button-down and black jeans. Speaking of style, we can't forget the chic, familiar face who accompanied them on their sporty date. Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour was there. Also in attendance was Baz Luhrmann, who directed Nicole in the 2001 movie Moulin Rouge and 2008 film Australia. Talk about squad goals. Are we still saying that? I think it applies here. Nicole made sure to celebrate the day with a sweet selfie with Keith, which she posted on Instagram, writing, "I love tennis. Thanks for having us. Nothing better than watching the sport you love with the man you love, and the 85-degree weather does not hurt either." Maybe send some of that sunshine our way, guys. Can you do that? All right, moving on to this. Jane the Virgin is officially getting a spinoff. Gina Rodriguez, who stars as Jane in the original series, posted a picture on Instagram on Wednesday with the exciting update. She wrote, "We got good news from the CW. Jane will be birthing a spinoff, Jane the Novellas." Now, the post has left some fans confused, though, because Rodriguez has a baby bump and her on-screen son is there touching her belly. So we had to wonder, will Jane be pregnant in the new season, or will this happen in the spinoff? We have a lot of questions. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Jane the Virgin returns for its 5th and final season on March 27th. Let's just say after the shocking season 4 finale, the show still has a lot to unpack. Meanwhile, the spinoff is reportedly envisioned as a soapy telenovela-inspired series in the tradition of the original show. Rodriguez is set to executive produce alongside a few others, and I can't wait to watch. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
Yeah, good for her. Love her.
I know.
Stay with us, guys. We'll be joined live by the star of HGTV's Windy City Rehab, Alison Victoria, plus Jada Pinkett Smith, getting real about R. Kelly, Red Table Talk, and whether she'd ever host an award show. We think that she would be awesome, and we'll see what she says. Hear about that in just a little bit.
All right, in honor of National Peanut Butter Day, we've been asking how you prefer your peanut butter. I'm nervous about this one. Creamy or crunchy? Let's check in on our poll so far. I'm hoping it's crunchy.
Creamy all the way.
That is so shocking. I love the texture of crunchy.
A crushing margin there.
People liked crunchy.
Nope.
What? Okay, all you crunchy lovers, get voting.
Get voting, everybody. The texture bothers me a little bit. If I want a jar of peanuts, I get a jar of peanuts. I want peanut butter.
It's you don't understand.
I'm so glad to be in the majority with this one. We had a little argument about it earlier, and I'm feeling decent right now. Keep voting in our People poll. It wasn't a serious argument, guys.
All right,
was
moving on to this. It's not serious. Okay, the 25th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards is coming up this weekend. We're going to be there on the carpet for the official People Entertainment Weekly. And
yeah, come on, guys.
Live pre-show. Super pumped. Make sure you tune in for that.
To get you even more excited, we're going to be doing some SAG trivia. We've been doing it all week. We're going to keep it rolling today, leading up to the big show. Here's today's SAG trivia question of the day.
All right. About how much weight did Christian Bale gain to play Dick Cheney in Vice? Was it A, 15 pounds, B, 30 pounds, C, 40 pounds, D, 55 pounds?
And the answer is, drum roll please,
Ooh,
C, 40 pounds.
Maybe he ate a lot of peanut butter.
Did you guys get that right over there? No?
That's a lot.
Okay, you got a
40
couple of
pounds
people.
is a lot of weight to gain for a role.
It is. More SAG trivia coming up tomorrow. Stay tuned for that, and check us out this weekend from the SAG Awards.
All right. So Jackie Evancho is getting real about the dark side of child stardom. Evancho, who became an overnight success on NBC's America's Got Talent at just 10 years old, admits to battling the downsides of stardom, including claims of men who tried to take advantage of her.
Yeah, it's a really emotional and very honest post. She posted on Facebook Wednesday that it started with to new beginnings. That's how she sort of set the whole thing up. Covers a lot of things from the stigma of being a child entertainer, dealing with rumors about being a diva or difficult. She kind of encountered some of that when she went back to school and you know, felt a little isolated, like people didn't want to hang out with her.
And we had her on the show. You actually
Right.
interviewed her, Jeremy.
Yeah, in 2017. She's got a lot going on. She recently wrapped up performing on America's Got Talent, The Champions. When she was in here, you could feel the weight of it, you know, that even back then that she had so much and she was keeping up with all of it at such a young age. Here's part of the post. She says, the reason I wanted to do the show was to walk onto that stage as a young woman and show the world I am no longer a child.
So she says when people hear 10-year-old singer, they kind of felt bad for her, and she felt like she had to do a lot of growing up on her own, starting so young. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, she opens up about what she didn't exactly understand while she was growing up famous. She says, my parents were smart about every decision that they made for me. They tried to balance work and downtime by being very strict about what they had said yes to. The part that I never understood as a child was why I had to give up parts of an ordinary life that I enjoyed to pursue this extraordinary one instead. And through the years, I've developed some flaws. I've battled some demons from being sheltered from aspects of a normal child's life. I'm extremely awkward and shy around those my age. So that's just a piece of her kind of confession
Well,
through
and
the
I think
post.
when people, you know, call her a diva and stuff, they don't really understand her because she is in the spotlight, and that's so hard to have to kind of face all that. And this was a really shocking part that she wrote. So, you know, she said she doesn't trust anyone. She only trusts people that have been in her life for a long time, that haven't hurt her. That's what she said, which I find very sad. She suffered through a lot of sadness and loneliness, which she kind of opened up in the post about. And then here was a big claim. She claims that there were men who sought to take advantage of her as a young child, which is really heartbreaking. This is her quote. She says, throughout my childhood, I was also facing another reality, that there were men out there who wanted to hurt me. Some even went to the extreme of claiming they were priests and other disarming occupations to gain trust and easy access backstage, but clearly their intentions weren't so pure.
I mean, that's just heartbreaking to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
So clearly, like, there's people, you know, disguising themselves, saying that they're priests and coming backstage. That is horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of it's unclear exactly what she's referencing, but obviously some things went on there. People have been very harsh with her too in the past, but their criticisms of her. She obviously we remember her performing at Donald Trump's presidential inauguration. She opened up to people in the past that her family even became targets due to her sister Juliet being transgender, and that presidential inauguration thing. It kind of lasted a long time. People remembered that about her. Even when she came in here, she talked a little bit about that performance on People Now. Take a look.
Well, it was a really interesting experience. I was sick, so...
Right, you kind of were worried about your voice, right?
Yeah, I was. Did not feel too well, but once the day came and I was out there, it was like I wasn't sick anymore. Like, I felt okay, but I was still really nervous. And then when I stepped up on the stage, everything was just like quiet, you know? And I know that it wasn't quiet, but in my head, everything was super silent. And then I finally started singing, and it was just an experience I'll never forget.
So she had a great experience. It was very positive. Her family was very supportive. But a lot of people are wondering, why does she keep going? She makes a post like this. Why stay in the business? So she kind of wrapped up the Facebook post by saying this. She says, all these things were terrible as a child, yet I'm still here performing and loving it. A lot of people may ask why, and I say it's my path, my dream, and my passion. With a fire inside of me when I perform, I've learned that there's a lot about the world that is sad. That's just life. But there are also many beautiful parts of life that I cherish and focus on.
I gotta say this. She's got thick skin. For someone so young that's been through so much already, having met her when she was here, I really admire her for opening up, for speaking out, and obviously we hope that she has a more positive 2019. She's kind of put the stake in the ground here, and good for her.
Yeah, all right, moving on to this. Multiple sources confirmed to People that Teresa Giudice revealed during the taping of the Real Housewives of New Jersey cast reunion earlier this month that if Joe is deported to Italy, the two would go their separate ways.
This is a significant revelation.
Yeah.
Joe's currently serving a 41-month prison sentence for mail, wire, and bankruptcy fraud and is set to be released in March. An immigration court ruled in October 2018 that Joe will be deported to Italy upon his release. So here's the deal. He immigrated to the U.S. as a child. He never obtained citizenship. So that's where this dilemma kind of comes in.
Yeah, now Teresa's previously said that if Joe's obviously upset by the decision, she is doing everything in her power to make sure he returns home to New Jersey. I mean, the two share 4 daughters.
Yeah, so there's a lot at stake here. This news comes after Teresa revealed in Wednesday's episode that Joe fully supported her doing this June bodybuilding competition. That was a week before the big day. Even though he had always been against the idea in the past, he seemed to be on board at that point.
Why is he against it? I never understood that. I mean, his initial veto of the competition wasn't going to stop her. So she told us when she stopped by the show in November that she was going to do it anyway. So take a listen.
Always wanted to do competition fitness, and I just never had the time to do it, or, it was whatever. I was just, always pushed it off. Joe really didn't want me to do it at the time.
Right.
He wearing a bikini thong and strutting your stuff on stage.
Yeah.
So now he wasn't here. I'm like, I'm doing what I want when I want.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was, really supportive of it.
There you go. She was kind of laying it all out there. Teresa says that Joe seems to have kind of changed while behind bars. She said on Wednesday's episode that when she told him about the competition, he actually said, "I wish you win." And she says that response shocked her.
Well, it's nice to have the support of your spouse. Unfortunately, Teresa did not end up winning, but she did win 3rd place in the 40-plus bikini division. Obviously, she looks amazing. She worked really hard. We were talking to her a little bit about the training. She spent 7 months training, working out daily, eating a strict diet. She would actually bring her own meals to restaurants and on girls' trips, and did not drink alcohol.
I got to tell you, we watch her on Housewives and all that, but the first time I ever saw her in this type of environment, I was shocked.
No, it's really
floored,
impressive.
right? It's incredible what she's able to do.
Girl,
She said on Wednesday, she also said on Wednesday's episode that the entire experience really changed her. She says that for the first time in her life, she got to do something just for her. She's loving this newfound sense of independence. Hey, just looking at it, she seems to be in a really good place here.
All right, moving on. Jada Pinkett Smith is on a roll with her new Facebook watch series, Red Table Talk, and here's why.
I'm always looking for those topics that people that are afraid. They're afraid to bring them up. They don't really know how to have the conversation. And so those are the topics that excite me most to bring to the red table.
And Jada definitely does bring them to the table. The series features Jada with her mother and her daughter, Willow. They're talking about everything from race and feminism to the allegations against R. Kelly.
While Jada says she and Willow have always had these talks, it's been nice for her to see her daughter's appreciation for this quality time with her grandmother and her mom.
I just think about the fact that several years from now, and when her grandmother's not here and I'm not here, she'll have these red table talks to look back on that she can share with her children. And, it's just a beautiful legacy to leave for 3 women of a family. So I wish I had something like that with my grandmother.
Wow, and Jada says that conversation opened her eyes to a lot of different perspectives, especially how society as a whole can be complicit.
You look through the lens of race. You could say, oh, because these were black girls, nobody cared. You could look through the lens of stardom, and go, oh, because this person's a huge star, we kind of, makes great music, so we kind of turned a blind eye. There's many different ways in which we're all complicit as a society, right? And so I just think it's more about just being conscious in the way of looking at making sure that everybody's well-being is intact.
Right.
And that being the main issue and the main point, all right? It is like, yes, somebody can make great music, but if somebody's mind is not in a healthy space, we should look at that first.
There is definitely some real talk on this show, but what happens when the lights and the cameras all turn off? Take a look.
We kind of go to the other side of, go to the kitchen. My mother, Willow, and I, we kind of have some hot tea and can continue to talk about the conversation to kind of come down off of it's kind
intensity.
Of that come down time. You know how you're on the treadmill, you have to you do a run and then you kind of have your slow down.
Yeah, right. Your version of slow down is Mama's hot tea. I love that.
Exactly. So that's our slow down.
I like
there.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing like a good cup of tea. And in addition to Jada's conversations around the table, she's also premiering a film at Sundance called Holla.
Jada's friend, Regina King, would be very proud. You might remember Regina famously called for equality in film in her Golden Globes acceptance speech, and it was important for Jada to have a diverse team on Holla. Watch this.
It's written and directed by a woman, it's starring women, and every department head was a woman.
Woo.
And so I was like, to my girl Regina King, I answered your action.
Putting it into play right away.
That's right. That's right. So I'm really proud of that, and I'm so glad that she took that opportunity to make a statement like that. That Oscar year where we didn't have a lot of diversity, I have made it my business in regards to where I have the power to create inclusivity in our projects.
I just love her perspective.
I know.
On everything.
She could make a great host with Will, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They can do it. Let's move on to this. Watch.
I am Alison Victoria. Chicago is my city. I was born and raised here. And now with my business partner Donovan, I'm flipping houses here.
That was a clip from HGTV's new series, Windy City Rehab, starring designer and real estate developer Alison Victoria. And she's here live with us today. Hi, Alison.
Hey.
Midwest represent.
Yeah.
I like it. It's cold there right now.
Yeah.
It's real cold.
Right, you're coming to the heat of New York.
Right,
from Chicago. Right.
56 today. Yeah.
Let's talk about this. You've done do-it-yourself reality shows in the past, 100 episodes or so as in Kitchen Crashers.
126.
Which, no big deal. Congratulations
I know,
on that.
thank you.
What's the inspiration here behind Windy City Rehab? Why'd you want to jump in?
So probably my 7th season into Kitchen Crashers, I was like, it was kind of becoming Groundhog's Day for me.
Yeah.
Very regimented, and it was that type of show. So the whole time during that show, I was doing my real life, which is what you get to see now. And I was like, you know what? I want to show people what I do every single day. I want to be raw and real about it. And so I decided, let me shoot a sizzle reel, pitch it to the network, see if they love it, and
here we are.
That's it. Here we are.
Good
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
pretty
Made
cool.
it happen.
Pretty
So
cool.
it's been your dream to flip houses in your hometown of Chicago for a long time.
Yeah.
What's been one of the biggest surprises that you've had through this experience?
I would say that that we don't get the support that I was hoping we would get. And I mean that from so many different ways. It's city living, so it's tough, tight quarters. But our neighbors, that's we're trying to make the neighborhood
Better.
great.
Yeah.
Right? And better. And we're trying to bring the history back with the builds. So it's not like we're coming in building crap and just trying to make a buck.
Well, let's talk about that historical factor. That's kind of a cool emphasis here. The history of Chicago, restoring those types of neighborhoods, or bringing the history to life a bit. Why is that a passion? How do you kind of see it?
That's a passion because I see what other people are building, and I'm getting really mad about it.
Okay. This doesn't look like our city anymore.
This doesn't look like our city. This isn't what we're known for. So if I can put my stamp on it, on every street in this city, why would I not? Why would I not build the history back in? And so that's the goal.
I like
I like
Yeah.
that a lot. All right, you've gotten some help for these big renovations, so let's take a quick look at this.
Donovan's pretty much like my work husband. Why am I the man in this relationship? He has the anxiety, I have full-blown anger, and it works.
I like this little relationship you guys have. I mean, it seems like you work well with your business partner, Donovan. How did this partnership come about?
So he was a contractor on Kitchen Crashers. So he did 3 episodes. We didn't really get to know each other that well. And then when I was buying another home that I was going to be renovating, the realtor that I was working with was like, hey, I'm sitting with your buddy Donovan. I was like,
Who's this guy?
Quite fast.
Yeah.
And we went to a Blackhawks game, a bunch of us, and told each other what we were working on. I'm like, let's do it together. And so I put him in the sizzle reel, and that was it. I mean, he really is. He's one of my best friends. So to have a best friend and a business partner, it's a very, intimate relationship having a business partner. And so you have your good and your bad. And
what better way to bond than over a Blackhawks game?
Over a Blackhawks game.
And if the guy can do kitchens, he can do everything, right? That's not easy. You get a lot involved there.
Well, if he can work with me, that's
okay. More importantly, if he can handle all this, then keep him around. We all know the flipping of houses. It can be chaos. It can be good. It can be bad. There's another quick clip here, and we'll react to this and talk about it.
Okay.
So you know that these inspections have been very hard. We had some issues with our electrical inspection.
So
we failed the inspection on Friday.
There's an issue with the panels. I mean, we'll have it fixed today, but now it's just a matter of getting the inspector back.
If you show up this week, we are losing a week. If you show up next week, we're going to be losing 2.
Oh my goodness. You get the news, right? Unexpected delays, unexpected costs. What goes through your head when something like that comes up in this situation?
Well, I can't say that on TV. But I get upset. I get upset because we have schedules, we have deadlines. We have 14 of these going at the same time.
Like keep it
So
moving,
you
right?
got to keep it moving. And so for me, it's like, it's unforeseen, but it's also something that you kind of have to like say, hey, this could happen. But failing it twice shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, so any tips for
Yeah.
how to soften the blow when it comes to these unexpected costs?
Because they're going to happen, right?
Because I think, people don't really look at it that way, and I hope this show is bringing those things to light, is that things that you don't expect are going to happen. How do you deal with them? Just be strong. Honestly, hire the right people first off, and be strong when these things happen, because you can't let it set you back. You have to just kind of learn from your mistakes and just make sure they don't happen again.
So square one, out of the gate, number one piece of advice for someone that wants to get into flipping houses.
Do your homework. So when you're hiring your contractor, call every single person they've ever worked with. Ask them, how was the experience? Did they finish the job? What were their prices like? Did they keep on schedule? Do your homework, because if you don't have a good contractor,
It's over.
you're done.
Yeah. I feel like you're the kind of person, you always have your ducks in a row. I
Yes.
feel like you have, stick with it.
And I don't forget anything. So I have like this steel trap that people are terrified of.
I know.
Yeah.
Good for business, scares me for everything else.
I feel like you've been like this for a while. There's actually a story about when you were 9 years old, right? And you were going to remodel your friend's bedroom,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
how did that turn out? Tell us about the story.
So my best friend Britt, who still is my best friend, we're 9 years old. We're in her bedroom. I'm like, let's rip up the carpet, like see if there's hardwood flooring.
Mom and Dad won't
Yeah,
care.
yeah. They loved when I came over.
Oh, yeah?
I did new floor plans for them, everything. So
At 9?
Yeah, like space planning, cleaning, organizing. It was always my thing. So we rip up the carpet. We paint everything peach. I'll never forget it. We put up our New Kids on the Block poster.
Nice.
Her bedroom was legit.
Were the
so
parents upset about ripping up
she
the...
was so happy. Oh, the carpet was crap. So,
Yeah. But
I
the
knew
peach,
it.
that sealed the
Yeah,
deal.
that peach.
Hey, before we let you go, we've got a little game to play. Chicago, known as the Windy City, obviously title of the show, everything. But what else is the Windy City known for? Let's find out. A little game that we've called How Well Do You Know the Windy City? We workshopped this title for a while.
Okay, ready?
Here we go.
So, which of the following items was invented in Chicago? Was it crayons, wind chimes, spray paint, or a baseball bat?
Spray paint.
Ding, ding, ding. How'd you know that?
Because I know it.
All right.
Because I live in Chicago.
I tell you about these. That
No.
was really good.
Honestly, when I went to buy spray paint, because you can only buy it in the suburbs, I was like looking it up, and it gave me all the like,
history?
dates on when it was created. The
So,
guy,
there you go.
his wife created it. Of course, a woman did.
And someone that's proud of Chicago knows
Yeah.
that. All right, here, let's keep going. You ready? How many states can be seen from the sky deck of the Willis Tower?
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, or 4 states?
One.
Actually, it's 4. Ready? Can you name them? Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, Illinois.
In the Midwest, so flat.
All right, next
flat.
one. Chicago is the home of what famous snack? Hershey's chocolate, Oreo, Doritos, or Twinkie?
Twinkie.
Yes.
That's right. I was surprised to know that. Did you already know that?
I knew that already.
Yeah, I was really shocked to find that out. All right, here we go. Which of the following business people was born in Chicago? Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, Melinda Gates, Martha Stewart.
Ooh,
Business people born in Chicago.
Melinda.
Nope, it was Walt Disney.
Really?
So can you believe that that was kind of the birthplace of Mickey Mouse?
Wow.
Assuming our
I had
facts
no
are correct.
idea.
I know. Well, you got like half of them, right?
No, it's true.
Yeah, I'm still proud.
No, you should still be proud.
Yeah, Alison, thank you so much. Congrats
Thanks
on
for
this.
having
And you
me.
guys, you can watch Windy City Rehab every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on HGTV.
What you guys don't know is not only does he look amazing, he smells amazing. And we're not allowed to know what it is for fear everyone's going to get in on that train. So when you see him, just...
That's what I say. Like, people are like, what do you wear? I said, I'd have to kill you.
Have to
I'm
kill you
sorry.
now.
Like, I'll tell you, but...
Yeah.
Love Jordan Fischer, and he did smell amazing. He's starring in the live production of Rent, airing Sunday, January 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
He's a really great guest, one of our favorites. It turns out that he's a big fan of Jonathan Larson, who composed and wrote the original Rent. He told us why the musical's message resonates so much for him. Take a look.
I've been at this for 15 years now, and the fact that I'm just now, over the course of the last couple of years, getting to a point where people are like, oh yeah, Jordan Fischer, yeah, I've heard of him, I've seen him, you know. I'm just making a dent, like just now scratching the surface of what I really want to accomplish. What's kept me sane and what has kept me loving it, obviously, is support. It's creating a real separation between my work and my personal life, recognizing that my time is a currency, and I love that. Really being able to sit in whatever moment I'm in and not think about anything else as much as possible. This is why the finale of Rent is my favorite finale in musical theater history. It's your cast that you have seen for the last, almost 3 hours. deal with all the things that they've dealt with. You see them all come together and with their arms around each other and just driving the same point home, like just singing it over and over again, no day but today, no day but today. And it's just a reminder. And I think that's the genius of Jonathan Larson.
Now, Jordan plays Mark Cohen, the narrator of the story. Now, the character has typically been portrayed as a quintessential white Jewish boy from upstate New York who's born into privilege but chooses the life of a starving artist in New York.
Yeah, so Jordan told us why landing this role and being the first Mark Cohen of color had always been a dream of his.
It impacted me as a kid. It was one of the first shows that I really fell in love with, and it was really the genesis of my wanting to pursue this professionally. I saw it probably too young. I was a kid and somebody gave me a bootleg of the show and I watched it and I fell in love with it and I was obsessed with it.
Now, Vanessa Hudgens stars alongside Jordan as Maureen, and Jordan told us Vanessa will be putting a special spin on things. Watch.
You've never seen a Maureen like this. She is tackling this and giving it a different kind of life in a way that I've never seen. I've seen this production a lot. Her Over the Moon will probably be the most tweeted about moment in the show. It's really unbelievable, yeah.
We are excited for that and excited for Jordan to be on this live production of Rent. But you guys, you do remember that he was on Dancing with the Stars, right? I had a little idea for him, just a little career advice. Take a look. I wanted to quickly talk about Dancing with the Stars. 25th edition of Dancing with the Stars. No big deal. You had a great run on that.
It was fun.
You did the junior show as well.
Yes.
Now Carrie Underwood is doing The Talk.
Yeah.
I just picture you adding to your list, you take the mantle on the regular Dancing with the Stars show as a judge.
Oh my God.
Is this something?
I would have a blast doing it. You know, hosting juniors ended up being, there's a lot of things about it. It's like, you know, the idea of working with kids, beautiful thing, right? The stage moms, the stage dads, that stresses the crap out of me. And it was so easy. It was so beautiful. And we got to do something really special.
So if they ask you to sit on that desk for the main show.
Of course I'd be.
I'm officially getting the stage. There it is.
Yeah, okay. on record, I would be, any way I can be a part of that.
Well, guys, it seems like everyone is talking this week about Prince Philip's car accident. Now, new details are coming out about what Queen Elizabeth reportedly thinks of her husband driving. Here to talk about all that and more are our royal correspondent Imogen Lloyd-Webber and People Senior News Editor Erin Hill. Thank you for being here, ladies.
Of course.
Let's start with this.
Yeah.
My goodness, Queen Elizabeth weighing in here. New reports about what she really thinks of Prince Philip driving. Remember, he is 97 years old. Erin, what's the buzz? What do you guys make of it?
Yeah, so Prince Philip has always had a passion for fast cars. It's something the Queen has long dealt with since early on in their marriage. And we're hearing that right about now she'd be telling him to stop driving. He will listen, but whether he takes action, that's another question.
Is he going to listen?
He hates being told what to
do. We talked about that.
We've seen that in The Crown.
Yeah.
You know, and the Queen's been married to him for 71 years and has problems telling him what to do. However, Emma Fairweather, who was in the vehicle that was hit, there was a baby in that car. This is a PR fail for the royal family, added to which the Queen and Prince Philip have both subsequently been seen driving without seatbelts.
Right.
Very interesting though, my granny is 96, she stopped driving of her own accord, but this has brought up a big conversation in Britain, this is what the royal family often do, about the laws.
Right.
And the legal system now, everyone is reviewing the laws of older people driving, seniors driving.
Well,
so,
maybe this will bring about widespread change. Who knows? And we'll see if he pays attention to what the Queen thinks. Who knows about that too? But his grandson, Prince William, also in the news this week, in particular for this emotional revelation regarding mental health. Erin, how did this all come about?
Yeah, so William's been at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, and today, on Wednesday, he took part in a panel discussion about employers' role in promoting mental wellness in the workplace, and this is an issue really close to his heart. So. It was important for him to take part in.
Yeah, it's something we've talked a lot about, and how he speaks out about this, continuing, to shed light on this. What are some of the points?
I mean, there is a point of the royal family. It's not just castles and jewels and fashion.
Surprise, everybody!
There is a point, and that's to put a spotlight on good causes. And I'm fascinated that William increasingly looks like King William V. And he's out there, he's talking about mental health, which is so important to everybody of our generation, and he's absolutely addressing it. And I advise everybody after this, obviously, to go and have a look at what he had to say online.
Okay.
Kensington Palace have been pushing it out. But William was talking about his work as an air ambulance pilot. And listen to this quote about one tragedy he witnessed. "The relation between the job and the personal life was what really took me over the edge. And I started feeling things that I've never felt before. And I got very sad and very down about this particular family." And he's really talking about that. We've never seen that from the royal family family before. And hats off to him.
It's a personal revelation and a very personal connection, obviously, to him
Absolutely.
as well.
He lost his mum when he was 15.
Yeah, so there's a lot there. And guys, go back and watch it. All right, now we move on to this. In this week's issue of People, taking a closer look at Meghan Markle's style with a purpose. She has shown a lot of support for ethical, sustainable fashion in a way no other royal really ever has. Imogen, walk us through some of the best sustainable looks here that Meghan's showing. How are these items changing lives?
Royals have always used fashion in some way, from Elizabeth I to Princess Diana in that revenge dress. But as for Meghan, there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
So she first wore Pippa Small's jewellery at Princess Eugenie's wedding and continued to step out in several pieces from the Turquoise Mountain Foundation collection from that. And that's an Afghanistan-based charity founded by Charles, actually, that supports local artisans in Kabul. Now, interestingly, she stepped off the plane into Australia in Outland Denim's jeans, and then she wore those jeans 6 times. Now, wait for this. These are made by Cambodian women who were rescued from sex trafficking.
Wow, okay.
Now, 46 new workers were hired to meet the sales increase of 640% that was as a result of her wearing them. Isn't that amazing?
That really is amazing.
Absolutely.
She knows that things are going to sell out when she wears them, so if they can contribute to a cause even better.
I know. Next up, the Evancho sneakers that she wore at Sydney Harbour last fall. They're made from sustainable leather. And interestingly, they're the only sneaker in the world to use bee mesh, which is made from recycled plastic bottles.
Wow.
I know. And then there's the infamous, I know you like this one, Jeremy, the pineapple sundress that she wore, which spotlights...
my favorite. Here it comes.
Here it comes. The spot... Exactly.
I have never claimed that that's my favorite, but fine.
All right, fine. We have talked about it, though. Now, that puts a spotlight on threats to the Australian ecosystem because it's made from sustainable fabric. And then interesting, for Meghan's first royal outing in January 2018, so, started as she meant to go on, she carried a D'Amelio bag, which donates vaccines for orphan children in Somalia and Zambia every time a bag is sold. And you've got an interesting fact about that, don't you?
So it's really interesting. Just yesterday, Camilla was spotted carrying that same bag in the same color, same style. So it's kind of fun to think, did Meghan give that to her? Is it on loan from Meghan?
Yeah,
Did they go in each other's closets and
influence each other in one way or another?
Right.
And Aaron, obviously here at People, we follow that fashion really closely. It's important that someone like Meghan is using this platform that way, isn't it?
And now seeing the other members of the royal family follow suit.
Yeah, and so maybe it changes some of the other habits of the other royals. It's not just us noticing Meghan's fashion sense, guys. She's got one very chic admirer, Anna Wintour. How about that? That's a pretty big deal.
Pretty big deal. Anna Wintour may want the cover, though. I think Anna Wintour being nice about Meghan might be.
Do you think that?
Meghan would be jumping up and down her cottage right about now.
If we had the sneak peek, right?
There's a new video out from Vogue, and Meghan has obviously made Anna Wintour melt. But, Anna Wintour is very calculated. Apparently, Anna thought that her wedding dress choice was brilliant, described it as brilliant. Obviously, it was a British designer, Claire Waite-Keller, for Givenchy, that designed that. And apparently, Anna also approved of Meghan's propensity to send emails at 5 a.m. I don't know about you, Aaron, but every time I see Anna Wintour, I just see Devil Wears Prada.
I know.
That's right.
At this point, it's starting
so
to...
if anyone can understand, it's Anna.
Yeah. And let's talk about this. Anna Wintour's history with the Queen, and she's had some touch points with the royal family, hasn't she, in the past?
She absolutely has. That fashion show, look at that.
Yeah. That was a really fun moment, and it's rare to see a smile like that on the Queen, and to be sitting next to Queen of Fashion it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And I love the Queen. She knows exactly what she's doing there. She knows that shot's going to go around the world.
I just want to know what was said between them. What kinds of conversation go on there? Before you guys go, some reports this week that Netflix's The Crown may have found its Margaret Thatcher. Gillian Anderson, we know her from The X-Files. What do we think, yay or nay?
I think it's a fantastic choice. It's going to bring an added boost of star power, powerful women in this show, and should be a great addition.
And look, just seeing some of the visuals, I can imagine it visually, right? Like it's in the same ballpark.
And apparently she's been dating Peter Morgan, who created The Crown since 2016. But that's not to take anything away from Gillian Anderson, an incredible actress.
Imogen, you always have some little interesting connections.
I do. I actually know somebody who is going to be in seasons 3 and 4 of The Crown. I was trying to get some scoop over New Year, but all I was told was that everybody on set was lovely. I was only hearing nice things.
That's fine. That's acceptable, right?
I know, but you'd have preferred a bit of naughty gossip. Wouldn't you write a little bit of naughty gossip? We're still trying to nail down exactly when the series is taking place, but Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister between 1979 and 1990, so it's probably a bit of the 70s is going to be in season 3.
They had a complicated relationship, the Queen and Margaret Thatcher, so it'll be interesting to see that play out.
I like that the show's catching up to more and more of our modern history.
Prince Harry does not. He's already on record saying that they need to stop soon. I think he's a little bit bit
closer.
afraid.
I think that's what
Getting closer.
I think it's going to help the show, actually. Imogen, Aaron, thank you so much
Good to
for
see you.
being here. And as always, you can stay up to date on all the latest Royals news on people.com. All right, we're going to take one last look at our burning question of the day. We've been asking how you prefer your peanut butter in honor of National Peanut Butter Day. Wait, first of all, ladies, I want to know what you think. Creamy or crunchy?
Creamy.
I am
Creamy?
British. What on earth are you talking about? No, not at all.
But you think creamy?
I think creamy. Yeah,
right?
way to go.
Do you have a problem with the texture of the crunch?
No.
It's just the nice, smooth.
That's exactly it. Well, on warm toast.
Me too. Or any
Marmite,
cookie.
people, Marmite.
Okay. All right. I think
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed that there isn't more crunchy lovers out there. But let's see our poll. Let's see if maybe the crunchy voters caught up.
Not even close.
Man, this is
Andrea.
actually shocking for me, Jeremy. This
Wishful
is blowing
thinking.
my mind. I thought more people liked crunchy.
Jim Gaffigan's got a great bit about this on how the crunchy peanut butter is getting out of hand, and he says he once bought an extra crunchy, opened it, it's just a can of peanuts. It's getting out of hand, guys. Back to the
I'm sure you say
creamy
it just like
peanut
Jim
butter.
does.
Was I just like Jim Gaffigan there? All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with another question of the day. You can tune in for that. And coming up tomorrow, the SAG Awards are on Sunday. We are breaking down everything you can expect from the red carpet looks to predicted award winners and a lot more.
Plus, Marcia Gay Harden is here to talk about her hair-raising new movie, Love You to Death, and how she got into character for the very difficult role. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Molly Ringwald. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Molly Ringwald, and this is One Last Thing. The last show I binge-watched was The Bureau. It's a French series that's it's on Sundance. Amazing, sort of like the French version of Homeland. The last time I laughed so hard I cried, I think we were at the dinner table and my daughter was throwing little ice cream bits, and my husband was catching them in his mouth, and I happened to catch it on slow-mo. My last family vacation, I went to France and to Greece. My husband's family is from Greece, so we try to go as often as we can because we have family there, and that's it.